Alrighty then. What is up, everyone? It is Monday, January 15th, and we're back for another edition of our stay-at-home open mic. That is our Monday night online open mic that we've been running since April of 2020. That's right. Every single Monday, we have a show. And if this is your first time joining us, well, better late than never. That's right. We're happy to have you here. This is like any other open mic, except it is online. We do run our meeting through Zoom and live stream it to you guys here on YouTube. So, feel free to interact. We have a live chat, and as our live audience member, we want to hear from you. Who are you? What's your name? Where are you joining us from? Are there any pieces that you like? Let us know. If there's a line that you really love, or an image that you really love, or maybe there's a poet that you hear that you really want to hear more from, let us know in the comments. I will do my best to say hi to you, and direct comments to all our wonderful people here in the Zoom meeting with us. We have a bunch of poets, as always, a lot of return. Let me see, maybe for the most part, it's all returning performers. Some that we rarely get to see are back, and possibly a debut if they do make it to the meeting. But my name is Richie David Marrufo. I'll be your MC and host for tonight. I am the project director of the Barbed Open Mic series. In addition to doing in-person shows in El Paso, Texas, we love doing this online show. And as I like to say, we are live and alive in the 915. So, yeah, I'm going to try and keep it a little short today, but poets, performers, please feel free to share your social media handles or websites, link trees, ways in which people can support your work. If I forget to ask you, let's go ahead and do your thing. You guys are all pros at this now. Other than that, I think we're good to go. Welcome. It's good to have everyone. There is still room on the list, so give us a couple performers and check the description. There will be a link where you can sign up. That is, of course, while spots last. And let's go ahead and continue. Let's kick things off as we often do in El Paso. I mean, sorry, not El Paso. We are in El Paso, because we always do kick it off when I'm hosting or Kit's hosting. But we're gonna go ahead and kick things off in Denver, where I hear it's pretty cold. It's pretty cold in a lot of places. We were suffering through that earlier in the week, or last week, that is. And yeah. Anyway, it is Mike Sindler, the one, the only. Hey, Mike, how's it going? Happy Monday.
Hey, good. Very good to see everybody here. Um, I am, before I get started with anything, going to do my usual thing here and put up this thing for lighthousewriters.org that I really recommend. Just go and just look at all the calendar and schedule of all the incredible classes and workshops and events that are going on there. Can't hurt, and you might find something that could even be life-changing. Yeah, it is stunningly cold. It's below 20 with the 20 below 20 below with the wind chill. And I was going to do a poem because I'm really upset at the fact that DeSantis has dumped almost 8,000 people with nothing but the clothes on their back on the streets of Denver, which is incredibly sadistic. And they're out there in this cold, and I wanted to do a piece on that. But it's Martin Luther King birthday holiday, so I thought I would do something that's more strictly related to that, because let's face it, it's one of the most important holidays we have. So this is one called Shade for Mark Bradford. What was is not what is. Layers pasted and torn back like the scar tissue that never heals. The black skin, resilient yet aching from endless abuse. The cry of pain reaching out to cover the landscapes. Broken, cracked, but indelible, even in the face of attempts to obliterate. The charred skin of bodies lynched and left to rot showed these marks. The wild and vicious slashings of floggings and canings as well. And still, no matter how much is torn away, how intense the attempt to obliterate, to desecrate, and destroy, there remain patches of proud, pure black, stubbornly holding fast to the canvas of history, refusing to be negated, no matter how denigrated, how dismissed, how denatured, no matter how powerful the tug of forces straining to unlodge them and to pull them from the story, to rip out native tongues and leave a dark pool of silence. But within these dark, inky depths, this black swamp of memory, a song vibrates, carried over burnt loam hills on fragile wings, wispy shadows lacing land with homespun pattern, lending definition and dignity, anchoring chords of hope, notes of defiance, and resonating tones of resilient spirit, a song of knowledge decrying that dormant within this world of thin and brittle, pasty and paltry, fated and fading, damned and doomed prejudice, lying in wait in the cool shadow of shade, the soft, pure richness of black will persevere. And I'm going to go ahead and just leave it like that for my part and go to the hat. And another thing that is special for me on this day is also today, the 15th, is the birthday of one of my absolute favorite musicians and poets, whatever, and painters too, of all time, Don Van Vliet, better known as Captain Beefheart. And I thought I would just do one of his love songs real quick. And it's called My Head Is My Only House Unless It Rains. And I'm not really going to sing it. I'll let a train be my feet if it's too far to walk to you. If a train don't go there, I'll get a jet or a bus because I'm going to find you. You're going to see my shadow soon around you. And my head is my only house unless it rains. I walk the meadow plains, water deserts in my eyes until I find you. I won't sleep until I find you. I won't eat until I find you. My heart won't beat until I wrap my arms around you. My arms are just two things in the way until I can wrap them around you. You can make my sad song happy and make a bad world good. I can feel you out there moving. You're mine. I know I'll find you. And my head is my only house until I found you. I hate to have other people hear me sing this song. But if it reaches you before I do, follow it to I love you. That's where I'll find you. And my head is my only house until I find you. And I'm going to do one more. And this isn't specifically a Martin Luther King Day poem, but I thought it would be appropriate. It's by Marcus Amaker, and it's called The America I Know Could Use a Good Cry. I met America at a neighborhood bar. He offered me a shot of rum, and I reminded him that Captain Morgan was a slave owner. So the bartender awkwardly slipped another liquid lie down my throat. I ordered another drink and was channeled by dark spirits, the courage of black ghosts who haunt American dreams. I told him I loved him and I wanted him to sleep well. But I know I've been in your nightmares. I said, I want to be your friend, but only if it's a deep relationship, only if you show me that you're not scared of your baggage. Bring your whole history to the table. America cracked open another beer as a tear ran down his face. He said, I was born in a house not my own, and my fathers demanded that their portraits hang on every wall. White paint covers each brown brick, and our backyard is a museum of unmarked graves. Despite this, a garden grows, I said, and every home can be torn down and rebuilt again. But I've been told I shouldn't completely let you in, he said. Some people in my family stand in the doorway, blocking the entrance. He left before I could tell him that my people have a history of finding ways inside broken spaces and making them whole again. Okay, thank you very much. Hope everybody had a good and meaningful Martin Luther King holiday.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mike, for those pieces. And, another reminder why I really love something. I mean, by the way, I guess I shot through my intro a little quicker than I usually do, but, something that we do is we invite performers to share original pieces, either stuff that's pretty new or maybe something that they've discovered, like maybe wrote in the past. I want to try it out again, get some feedback. And of course, the cover poems. Um, it's something that sometimes confuses people, like a cover poem, but it's just giving tribute to a piece that you would admire that you like, maybe even a poet that you admire or like. Um, but yeah, thanks for sharing those pieces. Really appreciate it. And as always, for giving a shout out to the Lighthouse Writers. Apparently, there's a lot of connections, that we've discovered in the past, and of course, um, all the work you do and supporting and being part of these online spaces. Thanks, Mike, for kicking things off. All right. And of course, I want to give a shout out to Tony G and Sandy, who are already here in the live chat. It's always wonderful to see you guys leaving comments and showing love to all the performers. And really quick, while we're doing shout outs, I do want to give a shout out to my buddy Groove, Mr. Eddie Acosta at Jefferson High School. He tuned in last week for a little bit, and I think I gave him a shout out, but he didn't quite stick around for that part. He did mention he might want to share something either today or sometime in the future, but I want to give a shout out also to all the students over there at Jefferson High School. Thanks for checking this out. And of course, you guys are always welcome too. We'd definitely love to hear your work. So just saying that, shout out to Mr. Acosta and his English class at Jefferson High School. English classes at Jefferson High. All right, so we're going to go ahead and continue from Denver to Pittsburgh. In fact, we're going to have a 1-2 combo for our next two performers from Pittsburgh. And we're going to kick things off with the always amazing with their work, Vale Larkin. Vale, what is up? Happy Monday. Let me get you on the spotlight. You ready? Hey.
Hi. How you doing?
Excellent. Thank you.
Good. I am going to be doing two pieces, and the first one is newish, but I think I did a rough draft of it here. And the other one is older, but I am going to be speaking at the AWP conference in Kansas City in the beginning of February, and I have a reading I'm doing in the city the night before. So I'm going to be running some pieces that I am going to be maybe trotting out for that. Probably older pieces because I'm unlikely to bring a rough draft to that event. First piece. Villain protagonists. In this photograph, it's the moment, where you know it, where you see their sparks fly, their slipping strands of fire, the dying of the light, the light in their center souls and how it slides free. I've heard it said we all start on the small, like the cowards our hats hide, like the fear in our hands. But smaller prey means playtime, and I am a working man. In this photograph, I am scrying myself in scars. I am wishing for the wisdom of children, like a child at serious work on a broken glass castle. Do you wish you were cold enough to kill? Do you ever wish you were hard and sharp-edged and slick like me in the shards up my sleeves? Have you ever once wished you were empty enough to unmake them, to slam their pieces into slivers, to unwind their wrappings, pick out the weave, snap each separate thread, and untie their knotted selves? Can you see the stitches when you watch the way you talk and feed off each other? Wicked is as wicked wants, and you all come following after. In this photograph, you can see her eyes. In this photograph, you can see his feet. In this photograph, you can see their skulls open. In this photograph, you can see me smiling with their eyeless, rootless, mindless selves, all their leftover living, all their potential energy, their must-haves and if-onlys lost to a layer on the ground, slowly soaking into the earth. In this photograph, I can see you reaching toward me, moth-winged, scaled with lust. I am so frightened of your hunger, surpassing even the surfeit of my banquet. In this photograph, you see the heart is placed neatly in the center of the table. Leering, you loom up over us, titanic and trembling with greed. All swallowed, cowering, I watch you fly on, omnivorous. Thank you. And this next piece is, it's a piece I'm considering doing in Kansas City, but I picked it for today because it's probably, I do some advocacy in my spare time for various communities that I belong to. And so I write some about that advocacy, but this is probably the poem I would pick if I had to pick a poem for Martin Luther King Day. The mystifying persistence of irrelevant shame. You all want us to. You all love when we stand up and speak out. Such applause behind the scenes. Also, you don't have to step up or stand out. And your admiration for our strength feels like glass in our chests. You don't know what to do. You don't know how to help. You don't know why I'm bringing all this out and piling it up and around us, displayed and arrayed so every detail shines, and we cannot pretend that we just don't know anymore. Sure, it's easy when the syllables flow like liquid miracles, life-giving rhythm and the rush, the fucking rush of witnessing passion, pain, and power pumped to 11, because severing truth from excitement makes it so much harder to swallow. So we follow the flock and we scream, shout, and bellow, so some part of our voice will ring out in this melee. No one listens when you're tired. Plain words about pain are not bright and exciting, because naked displays of the fragile and frail seem to rouse up our shame, that we walk, that we break and remake, that we see, that we labor in sameness while others walk ranges, blood on the peaks, every leap life-changing. As we stand in the foothills confused by the pain in our own souls, wondering why they are so much stronger, as though shorter knives matter through such thin feet. Shameless, that's what we must be. Not fearless. Never cold in the face of all this heat, all this rabid insanity. Without shame. Because shame is like blame. It's condemnation inflamed, and it's what's holding us all back every time we sit out or stand down, every time we find reasons within for not acting when action is all that will win, when winning is everyone, and there are no losers, and we're all in this thing, this planet, this exact same house together. So stand up when it hurts, and speak when it burns, because this is how shame dies. at your feet, silenced by your voice, and slain by the knowledge that you have done something, anything, to resist the destruction. Thank you.
All right. No, thank you, of course. I know you have your links. Oh yeah, there you go. Perfect. Right on cue. Thank you, Vil, for joining us as always. And another great performance of your pieces as well. Yeah, I'm already getting FOMO of not being able to go to AWP this year. Because I forgot about all the readings around too, because that's always such a fun thing to be a part of. There's such an energy going around. Anyway, I will share my links. I will share your links on our YouTube live chat. And again, if you are here with us, good to have you guys on. Let's go ahead and continue. Actually, we're gonna stick around in Pittsburgh, and as always, it's great when he jumps in because he changes it up and shares a little short fiction with us. Um, let's go ahead and welcome Andrew. Andrew, how you doing today?
Hey, thank you. Yeah, it's good to be back. Yeah, no, I haven't been in a while because I've had a job that's required me to go work at 6 in the morning. But I'm glad to be here tonight. So I have a fairly short 6-minute piece I wanted to share. So let me do that right now. It's called "The Noises of Early Summer Lawns." It's the first weekend of summer, and Kyle's dandelions will not shut up to save their own lives. Mrs. Carrington and I are sitting on chairs made of thick woven grass, sipping rosemary and hibiscus iced tea, and listening to the early murmuring of the neighborhood's lawns, just breaking the surface of the dirt again for the first time in several months, and cooing at their surroundings. But the May wind keeps blowing and waking up Kyle's dandelions. Every gust prompts a "hi" or a "hey, it's me, Kyle." Kyle is the kind of neighbor that does not let you forget his name. In another couple of weeks, more dandelions will sprout on the other lawns of the neighborhood, letting us all know Kyle's horoscope for the day, he's an Aries, or advertising his koi pond business. It's enough to make you want to advance on his property with a fleet of riding lawnmowers and hum Ride of the Valkyries. I know better than to say such things aloud, though. Cutting down someone else's lawn is like giving them a tattoo against their will. Mrs. Carrington is still talking while I stay quiet and attempt to listen. She talks about how things have changed in the neighborhood in the past 10 years. People in the neighborhood don't talk to each other anymore. There's less of an openness and a friendliness in the air. She grabs the other pitcher of iced tea, the one made with jasmine, rainwater, and miracle grow, and waters the roots of her armchair, punctuating her point. Her lawn sighs, and her armrests hug her tight. It's been 1 year since the Amerson boy disappeared, and 3 more years since Charlie Delacroix's bike was found around the corner from where we are now, tipped over onto a storm drain, helmet unbuckled and placed neatly on the sidewalk beside it. I sip my tea and stare off across the way and nod, patting my grass chair, fibers trembling under my weight. There are only so many people like Mrs. Carrington in the neighborhood nowadays, who don't invest in keep off the grass signs, who make room for guests who want to gossip even though it's frowned upon. As of right on cue, we hear the sound of a lawnmower firing to life from the end of the lane, and we both turn our heads toward the noise before immediately turning away, pretending nothing happened at all. Every other day, Mr. Waverly mows his lawn down to the bare earth, sowing the ground with handfuls of office staples and paper clips until after he's finished. I refuse to tell him that it's been forever and a day since they stopped putting iron in office supplies. And besides, it'd be like throwing rock salt on the tip of an iceberg. The lawns in this neighborhood grow down deep, deep into the ground. Ask anyone around here how deep of a person they are, and they won't lie to you, but they won't exactly tell you the truth either. I remember the week after Mr. Waverly first moved here, how the grass formed in front of his house in the shape of a woman, curled up underneath a sheet of dark green, the curve of her bare hips and thighs like the arc of a question mark. He had the mower delivered to his house by Sunday afternoon. We finished our glasses of iced tea, say our goodbyes, and headed back to our gardens. We don't speak about it, but we both know that's where we're going. If talking about other people's lawns is impolite, then even acknowledging the existence of each other's gardens is like pulling naked photographs of the other person out of your pocket. I guess I prefer it that way. Some things are not to be shared. I make my way back to the back of the house, towards the far corner where my garden sits, a patch of dark soil surrounded by bleached white stones. A bed of white and pink chrysanthemums sits there, leaves dark and shiny, and I beam down at them with pride, bend over and stroke the blossoms as they sway in the wind and shitter with affection. I take a wrinkled finger and pry one of the blossoms to the side, and I look down at him, the child no bigger than a cicada, curled up near the roots of the flower bed, sucking his thumb in the shade and fast asleep. I smile, then stand up and clap the dirt off my hands. Mrs. Carrington's one of the few people in the neighborhood that still talks to me, because I let my lawn grow wild, let the grass grow until it's around 3 feet tall, sweet-smelling and bright, and curled into stalks. The summer is still young, so the grass is still pushing through the earth after having been cooped up underground over the winter months. But before long, the sun will beat down upon the perfect meadow of tall, thick blades of green, the type of place to lay back and sink deep, deep down, and forget the passage of time. A soft bed that curls around you and swallows up the sky. All around you the sound of laughter, the type of laughter you only know from when you were a child, unabashed and unashamed. Thank you.
All right. Hey, I'm glad you had the time to share with us today. Thank you, Andrew, and look forward to next time. Appreciate it. Yeah. Let that grass grow wild. Love that. Love that. Enjoy it. And also, yeah, this is a call out for everyone watching. We definitely would love more prose, more fiction. Come on through. I know we get a lot of poetry and spoken word stuff, but if you guys have any maybe even if you have to break it up into segments, like part 1 this week, part 2 the following week, and so on, that is an option. I just want to remind some of you guys out there. So thank you, Andrew Pryor out of Pittsburgh. Good to have you. Okay, so what is going on, everyone? If you are just tuning in or just kind of got here, this is our online open mic. We have a pretty nice list, and so we're going to go ahead and keep going. And we're going to travel to the West Coast because we got some poetry stuff from Finn Bell, who's in the house. And as always, another of our amazing readers. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, my Benadryl, aka diphenhydramine, just kicked in. I'm a little woozy now, so I'm gonna do some woozy poetry. Yeah, okay. So the first poem, I'm gonna turn off my camera so I can concentrate on this. Okay, so first poem is a cover. It is by Andrea Gibson from their book, You Better Be Lightning. This is how I became a poet. 5th grade, basketball tryouts. Me, the tiniest kid in my class, haircut so strange I looked like a 3rd grade boy who got picked on by his 1st grade brother. Sprinting from the sideline to center court, I fell down 2 times because planes can't fly with a pilot's eyes on the wings, and I couldn't run without staring at my shoes, my brand new shoes, white as Isaiah Thomas' teeth when he smiled. And he always smiled, soaring towards the rim. Oops, I lost my place. Like a kite, the other team's coach screaming for a 2nd string. If I'd been Jordan, I might have called my shoes fly, like Jordan flew, the whole world staring at his wings, the whole world falling at his feet. But I was who I was, so I said, neat. These shoes are so neat, I said to my mom, begging her to buy them the night before tryouts. In Ames department store, which was just as good as the stores they had in town, big enough to have malls, but I was from Calais, Maine, spelled like Calais, France, said like the rough patches on the mill workers' hands. You could fit the whole town of Calais into Madison Square Garden 7 times, meaning I could have 7 seats all my own to watch Patrick Ewing's hook shot turned the defense into the kind of fish my uncles would catch and throw back, because they were just too small. Calais was known for being the first town to receive the distress signal that the Titanic was going down and not getting there in time. So I arrived to the gym early and watched my new shoes float from the locker room to the bleachers, where I counted 74 seats, 64 if everyone were the size of Larry Bird or Hakeem Olajuwon or Muggsy Bogues Hart or Charles Barkley, who I loved watching because he always threw tantrums like a kid. And I liked knowing I could still be myself when I grew up. I was on the baseline waiting for the coach to blow the whistle for the sprint when Jamie Lord threw a chest pass of words directly at my face. "Andrea's wearing plastic shoes," she belted, until I was triple teamed by laughter, the other kids repeating, "Andrea's got plastic shoes." Up until then, I hadn't known what leather was, didn't know the rule that killing something made it worth more, and my shoes had never screamed and therefore would never bleed the word cool all over the court. For a moment, basketball was a moon. I wish I could deflate to turn back the calendar to Ames department store right before my mother's crescent grin said, "Yeah, kiddo, those shoes are pretty neat. I guess you could have them." But I couldn't turn back time, so I tried to think of something smart to say, something Magic Johnson would have said if trash talking had earned him his name. But I was a mismatch for Mean, had no chance of blocking Mean's shoes. Mean jab stepped, and I was fooled into my benching joy, into benching the truth. But I loved my new shoes more than Isaiah Thomas loved his teeth when he bit the cork off the champagne 3 years in a row for Detroit, a city that would keep those trophies as their gold when the last factory closed its doors. In the 5th grade, defense was still the weakest part of my game, so hit by a hard foul of laughter, I ignored my heart's referee. Looked at Jamie Lord and then down at the floor and said, "I hate these shoes, I hate them. They're just the stupid ones I'm wearing until my good ones come in the mail." And maybe it was something about knowing it wouldn't be the first time I denied loving something I loved. But when the coach blew the whistle, I ran in my plastic shoes like it was 1912. And I was going to get to the Titanic in time, like I was going to make my town famous for sinking nothing but baskets at the buzzer. I ran like everyone but me had something dead on their feet and kept running that fast for the next 8 years, all the way to the state championship in a city so big it had a mall. And I cut down the net with my smile, just like Isaiah, and carried the first gold ball back to the hands of a town whose calluses for that entire night disappeared. And the next week in the mail, I got a letter from the college I had dreamed of playing ball at ever since. The ball had been bigger than me, and because I knew I wasn't allowed to spend 4 years studying only my jump shot, I said, "I guess I'll learn to write some poems while I'm here." Andrea Gibson, Poet Laureate of Colorado, You Better Be Lightning. Yeah, okay. I think that woke me up a little bit. Yeah. Okay, so this piece is really, really, really brand new, so I'm going to trip all over it too. It's going to be fabulous. So let me give you guys the glossary. This is called It's called Venus arbularia or Venus albularia, which is herbalist in Tagalog. Ooh, where'd he go? Okay, there's your glossary. Venus arbularia. Cha ng mga damong Maria para sa masakit na tiyan. Quiet down the tide of your arrival, sister. Shush. The vehemence of your crimson low moon river. Quell the swelling wave of you, woman wilded, imbibed mugwort. Mark your worth. Crimson flash flood. Cha ng damong Maria, damo, dumi, consume soil, eat dirt, dirty, filthy, marumi, they say. Maruming marumi si Maria Santissima Sagrada Sacrificio, sacrifice her, consecrate her, rebaptize her in their image, painted over, lily unmarked white to the nave where the vestal hearth altar will not burn for her, will not burn for them, will not burn them, they will not burn for her, they burn her whole, burn her at the stake, acclaim holy, holy, commit, immaculate conception, birth of a virgin, born upon a shell, celibate angels will lift a harlot's weight in misdirection, her story awash in fleeting sea foam brush stroke. History, repigmentation, done in a heavy hand, done in the shadowed alley, guilted, golden goaded ratio, the master, St. Stephen, stone silent, stone ground, cuckold worship, midnight mass attendance, see a God-man span the sky, extend a groping limb, bar us entry to the glassy heavens of the ceiling, to touch his humanity, to self-pleasure ego, to fabricate the holy high writ in Sistinian gargantua proportions. The reclining goddess is exiled in repose, body incorruptible, body rose sweet scented, smiling up at her ambient drowsy constellations. Listen, Takapon crows 3 times before dawn breaks the heavens. The end.
Awesome. That's new. Awesome. Pretty cool. And thanks for sharing that, Andrea Gibson. Like, just that's always masterful writing, and it's great to hear from her, any of her works. But do you have anything coming up this week you want to promote really quick? How can people follow you online and all that good stuff?
Thank you. You can follow me on Instagram, Finn_Bell. And I have 2 events this week. I have one on Wednesday, which is it's the Creative Wet Lab with Jennifer Nwesi. She's doing what's called Poets Pictionary, and the theme is New Focus. That is at 6:30 Pacific time. Following that, the following day is Poetry Games, and that is with Nona Lee. Her poetry game theme is poetry charades. So we're going to be doing ekphrastic poetry with some mimed clues, pantomime clues. There you go. Mimed clues, pantomime clues. And you can find that all in my link tree. I'll post that in the chat. Yeah.
All right, I love it. Thank you so much, as always, for being part of all our communities and helping push us along. I love that new piece a lot. Yeah, and it's been a while since you busted out the glossary, so I enjoy those as well. So thanks for sharing that. All right, so really quick, I want to give a shout out to Julian Morales, who is on the live chat. You know, he comes in every now and then and reads, but I know he's preparing for a really big event at the end of the month, the art of storytelling. So that's a lot of fun. We'll be promoting it for sure on our social media. One of my colleagues is going to be one of the main speaker. I just saw him recently. We're getting ready to start school, so I'm excited to be back for that as well. But yeah, shout out to Julian. Check out the art of storytelling in El Paso, and be on the lookout for more events for sure. If you can make it, that's going to be on the 27th if you guys are in the El Paso area. All right, let's continue. In fact, so we're going to go to South Euclid, Ohio, and tune in, change the station to a little Doc Janning. We found him. All right, Doc. Hello. Happy Monday. Good to have you. Go and do your thing when you're ready.
Okay, I'm gonna do my thing now. This is new. It's titled Dust. In this universe, this multiverse of infinite random geometry, the sound of dust speaks, echoes, reverberates, becomes emotion. Of emotion, dreams are born. They grow and bloom in refracted light of stars, reflecting from unknowns on the far side of forever, becoming us. And supernova. The last time I saw the stars, they were sparkling in a tapestry. a tapestry of Mazarine midnight hue. They gleamed and glimmered in the patternless pattern of time, each standing alone in light, each a mote in the multiverse, each sending a message telling the others, I am here. Each a unique voice, singing in a trackless infinity. Some in solos of color, others in galactic chorus, all backed by hum and thrum of dark matter and black holes. The starburst opera, the supernova of existence. And I will finish with a cover poem. It is John Donne's poem titled Love's Alchemy. Some that have deeper digged love's mine than I say where his centric happiness doth lie. I have loved and got and told, but should I love, get, tell, till I were old, I should not find that hidden mystery. Oh, 'tis imposture all, and as no chemic yet the elixir got, but glorifies his pregnant pot, if by way to him befall some odoriferous thing or medicinal. So lovers dream a rich and long delight, but get a winter seeming summer's night. Our ease, our thrift, our honor, and our day, shall we for this vain bubble's shadow pay? Ends love in this, that my man can be as happy as I can, if he can endure the short scorn of a bridegroom's play. That loving rich that swears 'tis not the body's merry, but the mind's, which he in her angelic finds, would swear as justly that he hears in that day's rude horse minstrelry the spheres. Hope not for mind in women at their best, sweetness and wit they are, but mummy possessed. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Doc. And of course, as always, just got to ask really quick, how can people follow and support you online?
They can find me at Doc Janning on Facebook and on Facebook Messenger. And if anybody wishes to purchase one of my books, they're available at your local bookstore and also at the usual suspects online. Thank you.
Whoops.
Whoops.
Okay. All right. I accidentally forgot to unmute myself. Thank you, Doug Janning, everyone, and John Dunn. That's the name I haven't come across in a while. And I studied lit, so that's the last time I came across it. You should have ended your set by saying "Dunn, son." It's a Patty reference. That's a deep cut.
Well, I was at the library today, and they were having their all of the time book sale, and a book of John Donne's work was in it for 50 cents. So
Oh, right. That's
couldn't pass it up.
for sure. That yeah, I mean that reminds me of buying used books for like a penny back in the day off of Amazon for school. But yeah, those pieces go for anyway. I'm distracting myself from the open mic. Thank you, Doc. Appreciate it. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and keep going. We got peeps in the house. Let me see. Cassie is here, Melody's here, Squig is here. All right, cool. Just checking on the list, and we're gonna go ahead and travel a little further north, and we're gonna go to Ontario and check in with our friend Cassie, who is back again this week. Always great to see her at the mics. Cassie, hello, happy Monday, and also happy New Year.
Hi,
All right.
Richie.
What's up?
Hey. All right. Yeah. So yeah, it's good to be back. It felt kind of weird. And I've only been a few times, so it felt kind of weird to miss last week. All right. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay, so this one is called Relearning Safety. Relearning safety feels like embodying a hesitant gambler who has so much to lose in a game that feels fixed. When reclaiming your body as a safe place to reside and teaching your mind to trust again, the world seems hostile, unforgiving, cold. And you, the tattered traveler on a daunting excursion into darkened woods. And then I have a few more here. There's okay. I was gonna say something about it, and then I realized that's not the one I'm going to introduce right now. This one is untitled. It's kind of a mix between, I guess, poetry and prose. All right. How do you think people know when they're happy? She rehearsed in her mind as they drove. You wouldn't be asking, the tentative answer echoed back to her. She looked into the gray fall-winter cusp-scape, leaves bright, air heavy, humid. It really is that simple, isn't it? The answer she wanted to avoid clung to the windows. Sorry. The answer she wanted to avoid clung to the water droplet-filled windows. She went collecting autumn leaves in the season's first snow, and the irony dawned on her as a faint echo rung in her ears of him saying, "You can't let anything go." Was this another attempt at not letting something go, to hold on to the pieces of things? To hold on to the pieces of things at the last second, destined soon to fall, clinging to something already gone. Perhaps what she was really asking was when to let go. It snowed too soon. She wasn't ready. She needed more time with fall. The more she collected, the heavier the snow began to fall. But she was missing the point, the transition of it all. And then another one that kind of interestingly has sort of a thread that's related to that one, even though that was written many years ago. And this one was written early this morning. This is called Into a Stark Gray. I stare out the window, watching the snow slowly drift and dance into the early morning gray, struck by the subtle beauty of its indifference, the beauty of the contrast between the effortless lightness of the drifting snowflakes and the gnawing heaviness of my chest, sinking down to the earth, weighted down by the gift and curse of feeling, of loving, trying not to romanticize the pain of heartbreak. May each snowflake take this sting down with it as I try to ignore the quiet yet pure beauty of letting go. May it pull down with it all the wasted energy, all the empty words that fall more like poorly aimed darts than snowflakes, dropping in an instant before ever reaching the dartboard. And I just have one more. It's also recent. There may be a theme here. Don't worry about it. It's called Broken Olive Branch. Knowing your worth looks like holding your back firmly against the wall and knowing that it will not stop you. Saying, I won't bend so much to reach you that I break. Like not plugging your ears when they say that they do not care. It means staring apathy in the face and saying, you don't need it to masquerade as love. It is looking, it looks, sorry, 1 second here. Oh no. it looks like resisting growing more and more olive branches for those who will not reach out to touch them. And that is all I have for tonight. Thank you.
That was
Um,
everything. Yeah, thank you. Oh, yes, go ahead. Go ahead and do
No,
your
it's
plug,
okay.
please.
Thank you. No, it's okay. I appreciate that. Thank you. You're so kind. I feel like, no, I was just gonna say that, as always, you can follow me on Instagram at Relentless Intrigue. I do have a workshop coming up. I keep editing the poster, so I'm not gonna put it up right now. But if you go to Relentless Intrigue, it's a public. It's open to the public. You can see my most recent posts for that if you're curious. And a workshop on poetry as an invitation into curiosity. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. I was just so excited to jump in and share. And also if you can remind me and I'll repost that flyer on our page and see if anyone in our network wants to attend, you know. I'm gonna say that set, kind of reminded me. It took me to a little bit of like, at least in terms of like wintry ruminations to like Wallace Stevens and the Snowman. One must have a mind of winter. And there's this concept. Anyway, definitely enjoyed the kind of like as a set, a collection, and especially like the snow. We don't get too much snow in El Paso, so I love snowy poems, even if there's a little bit of heartbreak in them and let just needing to let go. Definitely can relate to that. Anyway, let's go and continue. I'm looking at the list. What is up, everyone? Let's go ahead and move to. Oh, I love this. We're coming back to El Paso, and I should have let this person give them a heads up that they're next, but they made it right. Yes, they're here. Melody is in the house, I think, right? Melody, want to make sure you're here. Hey, long time no see. It's been a while. It's been a while since you've been on the here too, but we love having you on as always, whether it be online or in person at BWOMS. And joining us from El Paso, let's go ahead and welcome Melody Gomez. Hey.
Hi guys, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. I actually really just wanted to read this for feedback, so I'm gonna offer that right now, that it's super, super rough, and I recorded it while I was driving in the car, so it's I've been working on it for a few days, so this is very, very, very brand new, and I just wanted to share the one with you guys. It's not titled either. Narcissus blew away the soft dandelion fluff pieces with last words, and one single floated and fluttered and landed on a muddy bank, immediately mired. It's cold in here, and it's dark, and it's damp, and it's muddy, and it's dirty. She's dirty and dark and muddied, and she reflects on how she could have let herself be sent into the wind as little pieces of herself without a fight. Where did the whole go? I don't even chase them, because with every stir of the surrounding air, further scattered everywhere. Time passes and it's uncomfortable. Feel the weight of the earth, the trample of unknowing passersby. Skin gets tight, stretch-marked pain of breaking through, forcing expensive seams that it can't afford. So distracted by the pain that he doesn't notice he's outgrown his grave, or the little ray of sunshine warming thoughts. One big stretch, head curls up out of the ground. No headstone. Must have not mattered. Stretch soft feathered pistils so that they soak in as much sunlight as possible. Silly me. This is not a grave. It's a womb. And nothing was blown away. Looking into the river Armois reflected back as a figure exactly the same as it was before. Maybe stronger. Maybe it's me, but it's worn well. The bank is so supple, growing roots with ease to breathe. Never been a tree in the wind, but deliberately I peek back into the water, and I can see myself mirrored, and I love her ripples, fixed, while life aquatic moves through the tethered features. If I'm loving the water that flows away from me with everything I have, that's a lot of wasted energy. For who I'm really loving is me. These fragments are not something that can be ripped from the whole. They're extensions that are harder to capture. The revolutionary guerrilla army. Because if people can hate aggressively without experience, engulfing minds and bodies and hearts with spores, because that shit gets everywhere. I can disseminate love and blow my tendrils any which way I want, and they will sprout into soft feathered love. Because I am love, and I'm infinite and everywhere, because we are love, and we are one. So bury us. I dare you. The little wild ones will always be the fall of the system. Thank you.
Oh wow, that's a lot of excellent imagery in there. I was trying to think of a name like Revolution of the Dandelions or something, or I don't know, some stuff. There's some really cool imagery and transformation in it. Was that the only piece you were gonna do the workshop?
You actually, I can read one of the ones because Kit.
Yeah.
This wasn't this last week. This was the week prior, but actually, I could read another one. I could read another one from that workshop. So this one's called "Thank You, Heartache." I was so comfortable that I forgot how my hips ache when I lay in bed too long. So familiar with your every gesture that I didn't even flinch. I knew you so well that the back of your hand left an imprint in the face of my watch, on guard, and hyper aware of the vibration of even the air. I am so glad you're gone, and I have never have to see you again. I'm so uncomfortable watching my own dirty laundry go through that last rinse, knowing it will never be like it was when I stole it, but clean and warm and soft. That's something. I don't know who I am anymore. The seconds of my experiences sifting through cheesecloth, holding back all those that were not mine, but those that filled your timepiece. I know myself so well, though, that the back of my hand is finally showing wear. I'm glad that I'm not gone and that I never have to see you again.
I'm glad you did share that. Yeah, it came out of that workshop, huh? Very cool. And so for people who are not familiar with you, and I know you do some cool workshops as well, how could people follow and support you online?
They can follow me, and here I'll put it in the chat. So I'm a special education caseworker by nature, but I do a set of workshops, and I do them because I do them for free just when people want them, because they require such intimacy, which is a really hard thing to sell and market. So a lot of our workshops are about self-empowerment, recognizing your personal self-love, recognizing your inner flame, bringing out your inner flame, being really real with yourself, and recognizing your ties to the community. And coming to Tumblewords. Oh yes, so I'll be the Tumblewords guide person, February 17th. So if you want to experience kind of what that looks like, then come and join that one, because it's going to be super fun. So at Wrecking Bell, if you want anything else, and you can go look at all of my ridiculous pendejadas on Instagram.
I love that. Also, damn, we need to talk about it, but we had talked about doing a workshop as well at the Giovanni Bronson's one. We didn't have one in January though, but we do have one in February. So I just want to see if we'll talk about it. Okay. Thank you. Awesome. Melody, appreciate it. For those of you who are watching and live in El Paso, we did debut a venue, Giovanni and Bronson's, in December. It was a really great turnout. It was a packed house. In fact, we kind of went even overtime a little bit. But one of the things that's unique about that one is we are trying to do a workshop beforehand, and so thinking about it. Melody had expressed interest a couple months back in doing a workshop, so it finally works out that February is open. So maybe that can happen. We'll talk about it. Definitely though, Tumble Words, February 17th. Be on the lookout for that. Always a lot of fun. And I do like, I was gonna say facilitator, but I do kind of like guide for whoever's leading the workshop, right?
That's what we call them whenever anybody else leads ours, is they're your guides. You're the guide for that day.
I like it. That works well. Anyway, check out Tumblewords. You definitely hear much more from it, guys. And I kind of like what we're doing here because we just went from Canada to El Paso, and guess what? We're gonna go back to Canada because next up we have Squigs. Squigs is in the house. Let me see, and let's get you on here. Hello, hello. Happy Monday. Good to see you again.
Hello, happy Monday, everyone. It's been a minute. It's been quite an evening. Thanks, everyone, for having read. I'm going to take a cue from Mike over here, at least the shape. He did an original song and then a cover, I believe, which I'm going to do as well. So for first piece, this I wrote about when my parents divorced around the time I was 11 years old. I didn't write it then. My God, if I did. But yeah, no, I wrote it not too long ago, I suppose. It's called Tempus Fragent. Beneath the skin, behind the canvas, a fragile greeting found, a fragile tempest, promised an unarmed, unwrapped infinity and sharing air, anaphylbit for sharpness, anorexic for fitting, amnesia breaking, mining space, an unnerving echo in prayers. Please, and now, and why? There's a smile buried in the curtains. That is why our violence forgives. The lacuna is free, linen running unabated. Heavy comedy and rubber tires sail away. A stained glass sunrise, a signature war waiting under tickets. Neon spins everywhere. The taste of fingernails, the bite of fingered lips. Gone again, left picking clouds, beneath the roots, above the rooftops. Dancing concrete with me, electronics offbeat, eating the world shaking. Somewhere still to call us home, evacuating pain behind familiar windows. I whisper you a fire escape, a static ocean at your door. Thank you. And for a song, I'm gonna do a cover song. It's Ockerville River from, I believe, their album Down the River of Golden Dreams. This is the velocity of Saul at the time of his conversion. You're a fan? All right. Sure. Okay, this is the velocity of Saul at the time of his conversion. Loosen the wire, your time has expired. The only word left is goodbye. And in my new dream, the light's shining on me. Little needles of sodium unstitch the seams of the sky. Hold your head higher, the heavenly choir is settling in for the night. And where I had friends, I'm left with loose ends. 4 hours of vision exchange for 4 hours of fright. But enough of the fright, enough you and I, enough of prevail or walk in the light. While the angels stand by, I get high as a kite. I'm too tired to smile or know that I'm right. Am I right? And all our best laid plans, will they crumble in our hands? Our flags fell where they fanned. You held in your breath long after projections of death. You sat in the waiting room rasping and gasped for a fan. But the audience is tired. We've had enough fire. We're entering the age now of ice. And I, feeling older, pull off to the shoulder and wonder with my head in my hands, should I call my wife? And you say, enough, you and I, enough of the fright, enough of prevail or walk in the light. While the angel stood by, I got high as a kite. I'm too tired to smile or know that I'm right. Enough, you and I, enough of the fright. Enough of prevail or walk in the light. When the spacecraft came down, I was left on the ground. Will you keep me around? Will you help me survive after my time? Thank you. And for my cover piece, I'm gonna do a poet I recently discovered. Her name's Eugenia Lee, I believe American. This is from her book Bianca. The piece is called How the Dung Beetle Finds Its Way Home. The Milky Way's glinting ribbon helps the dung beetle roll his good ball of shit back to the ones he loves. But blind him to the sky with as little as a hat, and he will swerve like a drunk who, if he makes it home alive, might find the family soured with waiting, gone, drawers cleared, beds cold, even the watercolor arc of giraffes and raptors pulled from the face of the fridge. See, I want to tell my missing father. It's not it's a metaphor so simple. It's not even worth writing down. Even beetles need the stars to nudge them back to where they need to be, when they need to be there, toward their little ones. Gummy grins, ever pardoning the grisliest parent. I am 34 with a son, the day my mother tells me. She enrolled in a 4-day seminar about how to be a good mom. A little late, I know. Once, in a rage, I left my husband and our sleeping child. Where did you go? Friends ask when I tell the story. I wish I had a grander plan. I wish I stood on the roof of our building and, empowered by the single Brooklyn star, I ripped up the book of our parents' sins. Or I wish I could tell someone the truth, that I fear I am the kind of woman who could leave the one good family God had the gall to give her. Really, I sat on the stairwell leading up to the roof and wept until a large bug threatened my life, at which point I recalled the dung beetles, stopped blaming my parents, and thanking the metaphorical stars, I rolled up my pile of shit and trudged back home. Thank you, everyone. That's my time.
Very cool. And of course, yeah, the Instagram is maybe the main way people can hit you up.
Yeah, it's Medio_RN. Thank you.
Very cool. Thank you so much. And again, one of my favorite parts about the cover poem. Your pieces are always great too, by the way. One of my favorite things with the cover poem is introductions and new poets. I already went to look it up. What a cool looking cover for her collection, or Bianca, that is, for Eugenia. I know, right? Cool. All right. Let's go ahead and continue on. As I mentioned, we're doing a little bit of jump roping across the U.S., I guess, over from Canada to El Paso, to Canada, back to El Paso, because we're basically Mexico. It's okay. Boom, 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 boom. All right. So, Mr. Monday Night, he's been here for every single show. Most of you guys already know him. Leads Tumblewards and has been killing it as well, hosting it our shows, both online and in person. Let's go ahead and welcome Kit Wren. Kit, go and take it away.
Hey, how's everyone doing? And the Eagles lost, and it's fucking funny. But another great night at the at the open mic. So many great words. And let's see. Hope to add some of that. A couple of things that are in the notebook, things that aren't very polished. One very old, one very fresh. But they're all kind of I kind of don't let myself get vulnerable in things. My poetry reveals that I'm very smart and clever, and that's true. I am, but it's not what a lot of people come to poetry for. So this was written a long time ago in a Tumblewards that Mike Sindler led in October of whenever this was. My father has moved to tears very easily since the stroke. It's almost a punishment for him, who prided himself on his rationality, to be brought low whenever they show the Georgia Tech freshman's family in the stands. When I was young and I had reason to cry, he would be frustrated that I could not express myself calmly. That frustration would go from reserved but probing, his favorite probe being, "It's a fair question," until it whistled like a kettle and boiled over. And this is not to call him cruel. This is not to call him a neglectful parent. I like the adult he raised, and so does he. But I see him watching Young Sheldon or the dog rescue show on Saturday mornings, and he will let out a strange clumping of vowels. I wonder where that softness was when I needed it. I wonder if I gave it to him. And more recent one. Again, this was from just this Saturday when our friend from New Jersey, from the swamps of Jersey, Nick Paleologos, led a workshop. And someone asked him if that was like a fake name, and no, that's the real deal. Everything about Nick's the real deal. So he's doing well. I hope he has the time to come back to one of these soon. But he hosted Tumbleworks on Saturday, and I wrote this in there. I've written poems about David before. I put them in manuscripts and submissions, but I rarely, if ever, read them. I have known the absence of David for longer than I knew David. In 2 more years, that will be true for everyone, even his sister. It's been 17 years. Something we desperately want to be true, and that we tell ourselves all the time, that the negative experiences in our lives teach. I don't know if I've learned anything from David dying at 19. Every time grief comes again, I stick my hand out and formally introduce myself as if I have never met it before. Other people's tragedies strike me with awe and fear. What would it be like to go through that? I feel uniquely unsuited to help them. I have learned some things in this life. I have learned how small we all are, and how there is nobody who won't be missed, and that John Donne wrote that every death diminishes me because I am interested in mankind. That never feels like the right thing to say to people. Yes, I'm going to be very soft this year in 2024, but like not too soft, but just sort of like a drapey, velvety wrap. My cover poem, somewhat politically minded, but not. It was no, Martin Luther King's one of the most important people that this country produced. And it was Stokely Carmichael who said that he was the best of us because he believed in you. Meaning white people. Like his whole philosophy was about they will stop doing this when they see what they are doing. And I hope that's true. I'm doing my best to not make him a liar. This poem is Making Peace by Denise Levertov. A voice from the dark called out, the poets must give us imagination of peace, to oust the intense, familiar imagination of disaster. Peace, not only the absence of war, but peace, like a poem, is not there ahead of itself, can't be imagined before it is made, can't be known except in the words of its making, grammar of justice, syntax of mutual aid, a feeling towards it, dimly sensing a rhythm, is all we have until we begin to utter its metaphors, learning them as we speak. A line of peace might appear if we restructured the sentence our lives are making, revoked its reaffirmation of profit and power, questioned our needs, allowed long pauses. A cadence of peace might balance its weight on that different fulcrum, peace, a presence, an energy field more intense than war, might pulse then, stanza by stanza, into the world each act of living one of its words, each word a vibration of light, facets of the forming crystal. And you can find me Instagram at Kit Ran Away. Blue Sky, same handle. We don't fuck with that other place. I'm still there, but I'm not going to promote it because, like, whatever. And Facebook, easy enough. It's a Kit Ren. It's that name right there. You get it. And the Tumblewords Project tumbles ever onward. Heard me mention it a couple of times, which that's just good policy because I run it, isn't it? And this Saturday, our presenter will be Maria Perez, and she's titled this workshop, Writing and Drawing Across the Page and Sky. So don't miss that. The week after that, be Robin Schofield with The Desert Music, Part 2. February schedule is not settled yet, but I am hosting the traditional Against Love Poetry workshop on February 10th. And as mentioned, Melody Gomez will be hosting for the very first time, and we're all very excited, on February 17th. Title forthcoming. And I think that's everything for me. So back to your intrepid host.
All right, you knocked it all out of the park, from the performance to the plugs. Awesome stuff. Yeah, definitely check out Tumblewords if you guys want to hit up some workshops. As always, happy to have you here, Kit. While we're kind of plugging writing workshops, I also do want to give a shout out to a new series that's being put together by our good friends Fernando Antonio Montejano and Lee Martinez Soto, both of who you've seen here online. And that's going to be on Wednesdays. Well, every other Tuesday so far. So, but we will post about that on our social media, so you can kind of keep up with that. The first one went really well, and then we're trying a new venue out next Wednesday. So be on the lookout for that as well if you guys just want to get your writing down and you live in the El Paso area. Other than that, Blue Sky. Hey, I just got Blue Sky. It feels so weird going into like a very brand new, so like, and like starting from zero. I'm like, oh, hey, anyone here? What's up? I found Kit right away. I'm like, hey, cool. I have a friend here. But if you guys use Blue Sky, look me up as well. I'd love to have some friends. Otherwise, you can find me on Instagram, the usual spots. Let's go and continue. Anyway, here I go again, rambling. But we're gonna go ahead and take things. Man, I love these like last performers because we're jumping all around the continent, and we're gonna go from El Paso to Washington D.C., where our next performer, as always, is gonna come with a little bit of joy. Look forward to in these cold days, a little bit of sunshine. That is Ed. That's right, Mr. Ed Poetastic. As always, happy to have you here too. When you're ready, take it away, my friend.
Thank you, my bro. Like no other. Sorry. Thank you, my bro. Like no under, with words like thunder. Woo, that burns, is right under. Woo. Thank you for this wonderful Monday night to delight in the wonderful Potastic Spotlight. Hello, everyone. My name is Ed Potastic, fan of Fantastic. Please get in time to join my rhyme file for Sublime. I got 3 poems, so I won't take too much time. The first poem is The Bullets of War. I have a bullet of your name. My heart yearns for your demise. You're to blame for my flame. I'm gonna kill you down to size. Why I mercy hate you is because you're my enemy. This foggy hate, no clear views. My dark rage has no sympathy. I slowly reloaded my steel gun. My fingers covered in angry bees. My shadow covered the sun. Run, run, run away, please. There goes one of your eyes. You loudly blare, why? You fall, but your blood rise. Kept going. I whimpered with a sigh. There goes one of your arms. You're my prey, but please go far away. You're disarmed, but I still mean you harm. What can I say that went underway? There goes one of your legs. The pain must be unbearable. It sounds like cracked eggs. What is next is unconceivable. There goes your head. I forgot what you said. Oh, right. I hope you eat lead. The cold ground's your bed. The roses oozed and spread. There goes one of your hands. You're just a man. I feel you, but I try not to understand. Now your name is buried in dirt and sand. An image of a crying phantom. My body's icy as steel. You can't find an inner sanctum. There are no peace for your ordeals without rest or heal. I hear cries in my head. I wish it was me instead of you. I loudly dread the future up ahead. What can I do or hope to do? There are no winners in wars, more losses and no gains. There are no restorations or scores. Please, no more pain or life remains. Do I really need to explain? Thank you. Here's the delightful piece. This is called Dream On. Dream on to catch your planet. Live on to shine your light. Walk on to taste the sun. Run on to fuel your core. Fly on to hug the clouds. See on to grasp your horizons. Hear on to sense the chimes. Fly on to expand the freedom. Crawl on to hug the earth. Wander on to build the sea. Search on to touch the gold. Play on to wake the creatures. Hate on to feel the storms. Cry on to sink the oceans. Fight on to hold the lightning. Sing on to control the clouds. Speak on to call the flames. Dance on to shake the land. Sleep on to travel the cosmos. Think on to absorb the skies. Love on to shape the stars. Go on to ride the tides. Thank you. And here's a little piece for Happy Martin Luther King Day. Here's a piece. It's called I Have a Dream. I have a dream we can love each other. I have a dream we can respect each other. I have a dream we can understand each other. I have a dream we can support each other. I have a dream we can educate each other. I have a dream we can cherish each other. I have a dream we can guide each other. I have a dream we can inspire each other. I have a dream we can hold each other. I have a dream we can empower each other. I have a dream we can shelter each other. I have a dream we can feed each other. I have a dream we can protect each other. I have a dream we can strengthen each other. I have a dream we can heal each other. I have a dream we can nurture each other. I have a dream we can radiate with each other. I have a dream we can lift up each other. I have a dream we can celebrate each other. I have a dream we can prosper with each other. I have a dream we can free each other. I have a dream we can live in harmony with each other. I have a dream. I have a dream. I have a dream. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you, Ed. Appreciate that, man. For sharing all those pieces. Where can people find you online?
Well, you can find me online while supporting this wonderful open mic that makes your Monday night so delight in a wonderful protested spotlight. Come to BWOMS, where your voice can get heard, where your words can fly like birds. So don't be too disturbed. But if you want to follow me, please feel free. My Facebook is Eddie Foreman and my IG is Eddie Foreman 92. Remember, if the mic is right, I'll be there to shine my protestic inside. All right. But you want to follow, but if you send me a quest, you take guess, the answer is yes. Hope everyone stay healthy, safe, and blessed. Never stop spewing the one words outside your chest. Never stop doing and feeling and being your best. And never forget that you're more important than you ever know. Don't forget to let the world never let the world know your glow. So you know. Your words can still flow.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you as always for your words and your positive send-offs. At Potastic, everyone, go give him a follow if you aren't already. We are talking about this during the holiday season, but support the poets, support the performers. Everyone gave you like their social media handles or where's places where you can follow them. And it's super easy and doesn't cost a thing to share people's posts and put it out there in the world. So anything helps. All right. So we're gonna come back to El Paso. Hey, that was like a scattered thing going on where we went to El Paso, elsewhere, El Paso, elsewhere, El Paso, elsewhere, and we're coming back to El Paso with another BWOMS legend, someone who's been coming here since day one, as well as hitting up the in-person shows. It is time for the one, the only. That's right. I'm looking at him. I want to make sure he's listening. Hello, hello. All right, everyone, make some room for our last performer, the closer of the night. It's Dan the Man. Go ahead and take it away when you are ready. Nope, not getting any audio from you. It's completely silent. All right, I'm gonna. Hey, Dr. Doom, what up? Cool action figure. Also a different background. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Anyway, here come the headphones. Can you hear me? Huh. All right. This is me narrating. Dan. No, nothing. Nada. Nilch. Zilch? Yay, man. Can't hear you still. Still can't hear you. Unusual. Try muting and unmuting or possibly, maybe.
Hello.
There you are. What's up?
Like I said, today is Martin Luther King Day.
Dan, I think you're gonna have to keep the mic close to your mouth on the headphones.
Yeah, can you hear now?
Better.
Yeah. Today's Martin Luther King Day. Yep. He said, all the way, that Black Lives Matter.
Dan, it's still super low.
Yeah, hello.
I'm like try and get it close, really as close as you can.
Hello.
That sounds better. Oh, it might not even be the headphones. It might be your phone that's picking up your voice. Because when you got closer, it got louder. When you got closer to your phone.
Good night, Miss Gomez. Okay. Well, yeah, all in the blaze of glory. How many days?
Oh, you know what? Your cable is probably cutting out. Like your cable, like on your headphones, is probably not like it sounds like it connects and then it disconnects and it connects. So the audio is good for a little bit and then it's super quiet. So it sounds like your connection is
Can you
probably
still hear me?
there like that. If you keep it like that, don't move it. Keep it like that.
Great. Okay.
Sounds good there.
Well, the only thing that's louder. Yeah. Only thing that's say something louder. Like instead of no justice, no peace, but Black Lives Matter. So happy Martin Luther King Day. And yes, you know what it seems. I still have a dream, according to Dr. King. And the mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Yeah, it's out. It's out again. Sorry, Dan.
Hello, hello, hello.
So it what happens is whenever you move the cable, it goes in and out. Is it plugged in all the way?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah, we do have the captions on, so at the very least, let's try that, I guess.
Can you hear me now?
Slightly. It still sounds like you're far away.
Can you hear me now?
There, we can hear you.
Okay. Speaking of play, I still want to be an acting. Well, I'm trying to get a gig. Dig.
Nope, can't hear you again.
Not again.
All right, I'm still here. What is up, everyone? I'm back on. We're gonna troubleshoot this, okay? This is called
Okay.
Adventures in Audio. Oh wait, I think that did it, man.
Yeah. Okay, can you hear me now?
Absolutely.
Okay. I apologize. I don't know. This is terrible. I don't know. It looks like I don't know what's going on. My green headphones. Okay. Well, like I said, I want to be in the movies. Like I want to be in film. Hang on. Ew. Hang on. Okay. Well, I want to be in film. Well, it's like for the thrill, but it's just like a pill. And not like a drill, but I'm hoping to be in film. Yeah, so it's like running to the mill. Yeah, so all I was trying to do, all I want to do is to act. So, yeah, the fact, yeah, it's kind of like a lack. Yeah, because I'm trying to get into acting. Yep, so all I want to do is be the attraction. I like the action, like the and it's like the pack. And always the only thing is, I want to get into acting. I want to act. And Yeah, the fact, so you're caught in a flat. So how about that? Yeah. So there's no whack. So I just want to act. So this is not the overact. So a matter of fact. So it's an impact for Hollywood. I still want to act. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. And what right is I'm trying to take of the light and into the night. So yeah, so I'm trying to act. So and I'm trying to write. So as a matter of fact, I still am right. Well, it looks like we're going to be a long night to write a screenplay for act. Yeah. Okay. I do apologize. I do apologize on the audio delay. But again, happy Martin Luther King Day. God bless this dream. And even though his dream is still we see. Yep. Okay. All right. Well, just a matter. Anyway. Okay. Yeah. Well, you can only follow me on X. I'm just retweeting some of the top stories and news and a couple of things, plus the passings, you know what I mean, and a few others. But I'm still waiting on. I'm still trying to fix up on Facebook, trying to catch up. But I'm still. You can still follow me on Instagram. But most importantly, watch my latest episodes on Dan the Man's Weekly. It's still on hiatus until further notice. Trying to catch up. Okay, guys. All right. Y'all have a great night. God bless. And okay, Richie. If I don't see you tomorrow, I'll probably see you next Monday. So, all right. Hey, good night, everybody. And
All right.
all right.
Thank you,
Richie,
Dan. Appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Let me get back here on the spotlight. My bad. Oh shoot. Okay. All right. Yes. That segment was called Adventures in Audio. Hey, it happens. The internet's tricky. Technology can be tricky, but we eventually found our way. Hey, we're gonna be here next week. So if you guys were tuning in, I want to give a shout out to everyone who did hang out with us during the live stream. We're here every Monday. So again, if you want to hang out with us, that's cool. I do know that a lot of you guys check it out after the fact and during the week while you're doing other things, driving to work, doing chores, kind of like a podcast. So hey, either way, we're happy that you're listening. And again, if you want to share your work, come on through, sign up. It's that easy. As kind of some people alluded to, including Dan just right now, we do have an open mic this week, tomorrow, in fact, Tuesday at Rosewood. We're usually there on Tuesdays or in that area. So come check us out at Rosewood. It's going to be our Verse and Harmony open mic, and that is pretty much open for musicians and writers. That's what we call it, Verse and Harmony. But come check it out. And then any other things coming up? There's a lot of stuff going on. Be on the lookout for some stuff in February. We're going to be back at Grounded Coffee Lounge. That's going to be a lot of fun. And back at Jovinian Bronson's. Other than that, we have our usual spots as well, like Old Sheepdog Brewery. We'll be back at Crafter Than Brews, all that good stuff. Again, follow us online if you haven't a chance to already. Bar Open Mic. You can follow me on Instagram, Dead Wall Reveries. Once again, shout out to all the performers, and we'll see you next time for the online stream. My name is Rich. Peace. Later. Enjoy the rest